Yo, so we are back with part two. I have no idea where this video is going to end. We'll see. This part one completely derailed the train. I thought it was just going to be get it running, clean up the wiring, and then do some other knick-knack stuff outside of the engine bay. But of course, here at Krusty Classics Garage, it's never that simple. So, I don't know. I hope I don't have to pull the engine and tear it down. See what the cam gear looks like. Make sure it's lined up correctly. Customer said it was. I 100% believe him. He works at a shop. I think it's auto body shop, but I believe him. This harness is kind of confusing me because I believe this is a knock sensor. Yeah. So this is a knock sensor adapter from a Gen 3 to a Gen 4 or a Gen 3 harness. So this is a Gen 3 harness knock sensor plug, and this is obviously a two-way adapter. The one is plugged in on that side. This one's not plugged in. I don't see how that would have anything to do with not getting spark. But this video, at the very least, will be pulling out all this wiring. Well, except for this. This is fine. This is just the fan relay. And redoing all of this in the engine bay. I need to get it. Oh, that's not the... I need to get into the other ECU that he brought. That was just one I've already had that I put in just to test and see if I'd get spark. I did change the cam sensor. Oh, you can't see it. Our body's in the way. I changed the cam sensor. So the cam sensor I got, it was like $45 or something like that. And I don't know. I think GM, I think they're just racist. Because the cam sensor I got is white, and this is the one I pulled out. And in the last video, when I hooked up the Lingenfelter box, there was something going on where this would turn red like it's supposed to. I mentioned this in the last episode or in the last video, but we'll go over it again. And then it would blink green 3 times when I turned it over, and then it would stay green, which is what you want. You want it to stay green because that means it's getting the signals it needs to from the crank and the cam sensor. But every single time I try to start it, it'd flash 3 times and then stay green, which in the instructions it said it'll do that. You just have to crank a lot longer for it to really get the signals. But when I changed that cam sensor and tried it, I didn't get the blinking green anymore. It would go straight from red to solid green, which is exactly what you want. That's how it's supposed to be. So that cam sensor helps something. And it's not backfiring as bad through the intake. It's still backfiring a little bit, but not as bad as it was. Still not getting spark. So really at this point, it's just it's clear all this out, start from scratch, and then I need to dig into the ECU that he brought me and see if that's giving me any codes. Because if it's a cam sensor or crank sensor, the ECU will tell me. If it's none of those, if it's not throwing any codes, then it's going to be something going on out here. It's something mechanical, which really the only other thing it could be is the cam gear and the sprocket needing to be realigned or messed with something. I really hope we don't have to go that route, because I really don't want to have to pull this all apart, even though I can do it right here in the engine bay. There's plenty of room. My back's already messed up from carrying your mom around, and I really don't want to have to be bent over, no diddy, too long in this engine bay. But let's start with just tearing this all apart. These hoses are on here tighter than a pair of silicone titties on a skinny chick. God. Let's go for another one. Sometimes you just gotta sacrifice. So, y'all are probably gonna be mad at me because one thing on this channel is I'm very transparent with y'all, especially when it comes to not making money. I'm not charging the customer extra for doing all this extra stuff right here. So go buy a shirt or something, or let me borrow $20 till tomorrow. But yeah, I just want to help you guys any way I can. Of course, I need to make money, we all do, but I just don't want to make it, you know, while y'all are already getting beat up on the ground by all this, being new to it. So I'm gonna do my best to not charge them anything else, but obviously if we have to dig deeper into this, like I gotta tear the engine apart, pull the engine apart or something, I kind of have to, but I'm obviously not gonna be like, oh, that's an extra $1,500 or something crazy. Maybe only like $14.99. Sounds pretty reasonable. But yeah, anyways, just wanted to let you know, in case you were wondering, which you probably weren't, because you probably didn't even make it this far into the video, which I understand. Okay, so got the manifold out, which was not fun because it is a tight space. And one of the reasons why, I needed to take this out regardless, because before you put these in, these are all basically the same. These are from this company, but they're S10 shorty headers. That's what they're called. And you need to, right here, right in this area, you need to take the diversity higher, which is your 5-pound hammer, and you gotta beat shit out of it. Because if you don't, your wires that you tuck, right? Let's see if I can get in there. Those wires right here, they go all like that. They will touch because the manifolds sit so close to the block right here. I explained it in the Monte Carlo video and any other SWAT video. I use those headers in, which I think is like 2 other ones. So you need to do that before you put them in. I needed to take this out anyways. 1, to do that, and 2, just to get to this easier and then get to the crank sensor easier instead of having to go back and forth pulling the starter and everything. But yeah, it's a tight fit, but those manifolds fit. So let's look at it on this side. Yeah, no DEI hammering needed over here. Well, oof, that might be an issue. I gotta hook that rod back up, but it might not work. I might have to. Oh, we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, that side's good. This side though, going ahead and beat shit out of it. But now I'm gonna continue this wiring. I mean, it's already gone, so I'll probably just clean it up. He has key power, so some of these will keep, but for the most part, there's absolute. I mean, that's gonna be a power wire, probably just straight. That one's probably straight power, whether the key's on or off. These red and pink ones might be key on or constant, but we won't need many of these. So ones I do keep, I'll leave them, and then all the other ones I'll snip all the way down to the tape just to clean this up some. But cutting this like this is already useless. If you wanted to use this again, you would literally just replace the entire harness all the way over to the fuse block. So yeah, let's continue cleaning this out so we can start over. Okay, I don't want to get too excited, but I'm getting excited because I think I just found the whole issue. Yeah, so this is this road we're heading down, that we've been heading down since part 1. Absolute headache. That, you know, the route we're on. You know, Route 66 is good. Route 69 is better. We're on Route like 42. It ain't looking too hot. But I think I found the issue. So, okay. I gotta zoom in. Hopefully it focuses. Okay, you see? Can you see what the issue might be? Have you been a part of this channel long enough to know what we're looking at? What's the issue? Okay, time's up. Oh, it's not gonna focus. Okay, this wire right here and this wire right here should be going together like two lesbians. Should be going together on the big post of the starter, because both of those power the ECU and the harness, constant power. If you put it there, it's only if you put it on the small post that the purple wire is connected to, it's only getting power while cranking, which the voltage drops and you're not getting enough power supplied. So that could be causing everything. Won't find out until I make this all pretty, get it all put back together, hook it all up, and try to start it. So let's continue and pray. Thoughts and prayers and fat chicks that this is the issue, and I get spark and everything after I fix this up. So let's see. All right, so it is the next day. I got most of the wiring out of the way over here. Another thing I found that wasn't correct, I believe this is the fuel pump wire, the power wire, because it was running to the fuel pump relay, which is, where'd we go? Where is the fuse block? Oh, duh, right in front of my face. So this one will be the fuel pump relay, and it was in the middle, but there's nothing in the middle. Oh, let me just pull it off. So it was connected to basically nothing, so the fuel pump wasn't coming on. So what you do is The only prong you use on here is the top one and the bottom one. I'm just doing this off the top of my head because I've done it 8 million times, but I believe, if I remember correctly, it's 87 is power to the fuel pump, and then 30, which is the bottom one, is power to the relay. It could be the other way around, but yeah. So, oh, okay, appreciate it. So, anyways, you just run your fuel pump wire to the prong, and then you have to have a power source to power it up. So you just find key on power to the other prong. So just gotta redo that whenever I get down into the abyss of under the car and hopefully find that relay before it disappears. But yeah, so I'm hoping by the end of today, by the time it gets dark, I can just get all this wiring cleaned up, kind of snip what I don't need, what I'm not going to use, because that will clean this up a lot. Like this is already all snipped, so you might as well snip the rest of it just to clean it all up and get it out of the way. And then I got to figure out where some of these wires are going. I believe it's part of the relay, or maybe not. No clue, but we will figure it out. So let's finish that up. Well, as you can see, I'm running out of daytime. I got headers test fit. I got all this side cleaned up. I'm moving harness and everything over to this side, which is where I usually put it. Just because there's way too much going on over here to mount the computer, and there's really not a good spot with the battery being right there. So I'm going to put it somewhere over here. Pull out the old, I think this is the charcoal canister, the evap box for the fuel system. What does it say? It doesn't say. It's just for your fumes to go into there so they don't kill you, but we like fumes around here, so we're acoustic. But look at how much wiring I cut out. So yeah, it's been somewhere around 2 hours, and I've just gotten this side done, tucking everything, beating the header in so that it doesn't burn the wires. I got the main power wires ran, and the key on power wire ran, harness wires ran. I'm just cleaning up. I'm going to mount the Lingenfelter box right here. And then I got the wires ran for crank in, crank out, cam in, cam out. And then I just need to put that header back on. Well, completely mount it. Coil packs, spark plug wires. We got the new spark plug wires in. And then tomorrow I should finish this side up. But I really hope this runs after I do all this because my hands hurt. But all right, it is about 2 days later. Here's a better view as the other one. Sun was going down, so you couldn't see too much. I've been sitting here trying to get these fan relays to work. Only one fan is coming on, and I don't understand why, but I'm going to deal with that another day. I'm not worried about that right now. I just want to get this engine running and this engine bay cleaned up. I got the Lingenfelter box mounted here. You can see I got my wires. Well, I got my wires all tucked and ran. I got the manifold beat in where you need it so that those wires don't touch and burn up. There is no knock sensor on this side. Down there you can see that's a knock sensor adapter that plugs into the knock sensor plug somewhere over here. It plugs into the harness knock sensor plug, and then it runs. It's an adapter that plugs into the side of the block on Gen 4 knock sensors. Gen 3, they're under the intake. I got my cam in, cam out, all that. I just need to put my cam in plug into the front of the timing cover where the cam sensor is. And then out of all these wires, none of these wires have key on power. None of them. And only 2 of them have power while the battery is hooked up. So constant power. Like this. He has it labeled hot 24/7, that gray wire. None of these wires have key on power. He said this one had key on power, but it doesn't. So I'm going to have to run a wire from inside the engine bay. Inside the car's fuse panel. And I'm going to have to run a wire all the way over here because I want this to be key on power only. I don't want to run it directly to the battery and have constant power. Or do I? I'll have to go over the instructions again. I might have to have constant power. Yeah, let me go over the instructions again. We'll get to that. And then basically over here, I'm going to run all this exactly how you saw it in the Monte Carlo. It's almost the same. I think the Monte Carlo is definitely a little longer in this area, so there's a little bit more room. But getting that bad boy out of the way opens up all this. I'm going to run the air intake the same way, and then I plan on running the computer over here, and then I'll run the fuse block right here, just like I did on the Monte Carlo. I'll drill that hole out. It's already drilled in the Monte Carlo, but I'll drill that out, set it right there, or maybe over here somewhere. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm trying to get that side finished up first, and then I'll move on to this side. I'm not going to get the air intake until tomorrow. So let me continuing on cleaning up this engine bay and getting it ready to go. Okay, so about 8 hours later. No, but really though, it's been like 2 hours. This wiring is and making it all pretty at the same time, it takes forever. So, Lingenfelter box mounted. Oh, it's a little dark. Lingenfelter box mounted. Got everything cleaned up down here. Everything running where it's going to go. I got this zip tied on here, but probably at some point I'll probably just run loom over both of these all the way so you don't see the red wire. I just had that pulled up because I had to take the fuel pump wire that was running over here and run it back through there, back over there. But as you can see, I have everything harness related, 1000% hooked up. I have this just sitting here testing it. Fuel pump works. ECU clicks on, so everything is ready to go. I could not for the life of me find any key on power. Well, let me talk to my people first, okay? just be a good girl and give me a second. Appreciate it. I couldn't find any key on fuse power that when you crank, the key or the power stays on. So I had to run it to this switch. So if we listen closely, I have the harness and everything hooked up to the switch. So you'd flip the switch on and then turn the key, since I couldn't find anything that key on fuse under there. So that's going to be nice. And then also it could be a safety deterrent if you wanted to take that out of there and hide it somewhere. But now I'm gonna clean up this some more. I got to put on the manifold back on, put the new spark plug wires on, hook up brake booster vacuum line, cap these off for now. Well, I got to cap that one off regardless. This one goes to the rear valve, the rear of the driver's side valve cover, but I'm gonna cap it off for now too. So I don't even know if there's any fuel in the tank. I'll have to ask him. And then hook my harness back up, make it all pretty again, and then we can test fire. And then tomorrow when I get the air intake and the mass airflow sensor, as long as it fires off, the engine bay will be 1000% completely done. Hopefully. Please. Please. I need to move on to other things. But yeah, we'll get there. Okay, so another 30 hours later, I was moving right along, doing excelente. But then I put this passenger side manifold back in, mounted it, hooked it all up, and there's absolutely no way to get a spark plug wire onto this spark plug because the header tube is directly in the way. I got these new 45-degree angle ones, definitely don't fit. Even went up in my storage area where I keep all my LS swap stuff, and this one wouldn't even fit. And a 90-degree, almost guarantee a 90-degree wouldn't even fit. This 45, that's 45, wouldn't fit because, as you can see, I've been over here welling away at it, and the spot where it's hitting is right there, right here, and there's absolutely no way for me to get to that spot. I've tried, obviously, but this part of the header is completely in the way because I need to get under here, right here. I've tried heating it up. I've tried taking my pickle fork and sticking it through there and then hammering down on the handle of the pickle fork, and there's just absolutely no way. So highly recommend not getting these. These are literally just Shorty S10 headers. Hopefully he didn't pay extra because they have somebody's name on them. But you just go to Amazon, Shorty S10s. They're all the same. All the ones I've used, though, I have not had this issue. This is the very first pair of Shorty headers I've come across, or S10 Shorty headers I've come across that I have not been able to do a spark plug wire. So that's really gonna hold us back quite a bit because I can't put any of this back on. I can't put the coil packs back on. I can't hook the heater hoses back on until I get that manifold in. And a tip, if it's very hard to get in this area of your vehicle, take your coil packs off. It gives you a lot more room. 98 to 02 F bodies, this is probably the hardest spark plug to get to, which it is, even on 99 to 06 GM Chevy vehicles. But especially those F bodies, absolutely no room. It takes about 8 hours to change spark plugs on one of those, but take off the coil packs, makes it a little bit easier when you have no room to get in there. But if you got skinny hands like mine, look at them pie cutters, sing, sing, sing. It's a little bit easier. But we're moving along. It's obviously looking way better. It'll look amazing once I'm done. Well, I say amazing, I'm kind of biased, but just better in general. So I'll probably see you guys in a couple more days. I gotta clean up here, but yeah. Okay, next day, got the new headers a lot faster. I sent the customer a pair that I don't want to say that I always use. I just always look for the one. I always get the ones, like I've mentioned in the Monte Carlo video, I always get the ones that take a V-band instead of this triangle flange, because then I can adjust where the O2 sensor is once I have it mounted. But let me show you the huge difference in space for the spark plug wires. This was the one that was the whole issue yesterday, and that is 100% mucho bueno. I don't know why, but this one, that one is so much closer, the tube to the flange, compared to that. Let me see. So much more space. So I don't know. Don't get these. And he said he paid like $300+ for these, which is crazy because we got those for a tad bit over 200. But I'm going to put the manifolds on, spark plug wires on, coil pack on, and then we can finally test fire it and see if everything's doing what it's supposed to do. So good enough. I'm so cold. I just want to start this, and I need this to be the end of the video. Is this too cold for this shit? It's windy. I'm trying to think. I can't think. It's too cold. I'm not built for this. I got power steering fluid in the power steering pump just in case, because you definitely don't want to run that dry. What else? Everything electrical is hooked up. Oh, I need a battery charger. Okay. Just start. Just fire off. Give her the juice. I have no idea if we have fuel. That'll blow it up. Oh my gosh. Wants to start. What's going on? Am I getting spark? pissed, and I'm cold, and I'm more pissed, but I can't tell if I'm more pissed or if I'm more cold than pissed, but I'm pissed while being really cold. It won't start. It turns over great. It's not backfiring anymore. Something is going on with that box. Something's not, I don't know. I got to go back through the instructions. Now it's on completely. It's on. The key is off. It wasn't like that before, so I don't know what's going on. Oh, that's why I got the switch on. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm going to have to take... I'm not getting spark. And that wasn't turning green the whole time you're cranking. But as soon as you turn the key off, it turns green real quick. So I have no idea. But engine bay looks a lot better, doesn't it? What do you think? I don't know. No point in dragging this video on any longer because I'm going to have to go through and diagnose this. And I don't know how long that's going to take. So hopefully by the next video, it's running. Everything's doing what it's supposed to except for that box. So, and I also need to get into the ECU with my HP tuners and see if it's just giving me any codes or anything. But we got headers, we got the whole engine bay cleaned up, rewired, everything rerouted. It looks way better. Not saying it didn't look bad before. I mean, once you get rid of all the wires that you don't need, you know, it makes a big difference. So customer still did great on it. Definitely not going to knock them. But yeah. My hand's so cold. Okay, I gotta go. I'm too skinny for this shit. Go build something. Like, subscribe, comment, blah, blah, blah. See you later. Adios, amigos.